Hello, welcome to Cyber Sentinel. My name is Dr. Erdal Cosgun, and it's really a pleasure to be with you today again. As you all know, in today's rapidly evolving digital landscape, two powerful forces are increasingly getting into our life. One is AI, and the second thing is, of course, cybersecurity. AI is there to make our life easier in some point, where cybersecurity is there, it depends on where you look from, to either make our life more secure, or it's been used by hackers to make our life more miserable. AI is there to fix complex patterns, to help us to save time, to automate tasks that we could not do. When we look from cybersecurity point of view, AI is there to see that me as cybersecurity expert cannot see. Of course, this could be from automatically detecting anomalies in a network traffic or predicting potential cyber attacks. This two powerful technology also presents a double-edged sword. One side is for used by criminals, and the other side is used, of course, by us to prevent criminals. And to learn all about this, today, I'm going to invite data scientists to help us to understand this issue. Not just a data scientist, he is also an AI expert and a researcher at Microsoft Genomics. With us today is Dr. Erdal Cosgun. Yes, you didn't hear it wrong. His name is also Erdal. To be honest, it's not such a common name, but it's just two Dr. Erdals today is with you. Erdal, welcome to Sentinel Talk Show. Please tell us who you are, what you do, and then let's start.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me, and thanks for your invite. So I'm Erdal. I'm a data scientist at the Microsoft Genomics team. I have been working at Microsoft almost 10 years and working on the cloud technologies for solving the big data problem, big data analysis problem. And I have been managing the different projects focusing on the secure and scalable genomics data analysis. Perfect. And my background is statistics, my PhD in biostatistics, and I have been working on this field, as I mentioned, more than 10 years now.
All right. And for the ones they know me, yes, I also worked at Microsoft, and to be honest, that's how we met as well in the past. And now I'm a Microsoft MVP and regional director, but we're still working together as data scientists. Has nothing to do with our workplaces, even though we are somehow connected. Okay, Erdal, I feel like I'm speaking to myself now. Erdal, how can AI accelerate genomics research while ensuring data integrity and, of course, reliability?
I think that's a great question. But before maybe jumping to the questions or maybe the discussions, so I think I would like to explain what type of data that I'm working on, because it's very important.
It's really important.
Yeah, it's very important for the security experts, because I'm directly working with the security experts, the bioinformaticians, and the engineers, the software engineers. The data that I'm working is coming from the wet lab. In the genomics world, the wet lab usually collect the biological samples like bloods or tissues, then process this data with usually the sequencing machines, and created a unstructured data. And this data is the first step, because we need to process this data in the scalable environments and the secure environments. And we created a machine learning, deep learning, or AI models based on these kind of the pre-processed data sets. And this data is really huge, the petabytes of data. And usually we need a secure environment to collaborate with the other researchers, collaborate with the other, maybe the stakeholders. Therefore, this massive data is really, important for the life sciences and the healthcare research. And AI can definitely help us to identify the gene-disease associations or optimize the gene annotations and collect maybe the important information from the literature. So AI can definitely accelerate this process. Maybe 5 years ago, we can complete this very basic analysis in 2 or 3 days. Now it definitely accelerates all these processes.
Perfect. Usually I get those kinds of questions, and this time I'm glad that I'm gonna ask someone else. You know, as you know, security is my field, but when it comes to AI or genomic data using AI platforms, what are the primary security risks associated with strong and sharing genomic data? Because we all know your AI is good as your data is. If you have bad data, your AI is bad. If you have unsecure data, you know what I mean. So I'm glad that I'm asking this question, and I'm pretty sure I have lots to learn from you, or we have lots to learn from you. The primary security risks, please.
Yeah. The genomics data is defined as a identifiable data. So this is important because you can identify the specific persons with their genomics data, but not just with genomics, with the electronic medical records data or healthcare data sets. So we usually focus on combining the different data formats. And one of the first risk is from, as a data scientist perspective, the first thing is authorization of the data. The controlled access data should be the first step. So we need to define who is going to access the data, and we need to define the versions and understanding the version of the data, because while you are working on the data analysis, you need to be sure that you have a right access to a right set of patients' data. So the first thing is identification, is a risk, definitely. We need a controlled access, the platforms, and sometimes we are, hearing some kind of re-identification attacks using AI. So in the specific, the papers, this means the genomics data, you need to secure it with the clinical data sets, definitely. And we have different standards for this purposes, like, as you know, the GDPRs, the HIPAA. So these are the different, the standards and the regulations that we need to be careful. But one of the important risks is you should secure your genomics data, because it's very dangerous to identify the person. And maybe you heard there are several guidelines for securing the data, the genomics data especially, like GA4GH, the Global Alliance for the Genomics Research. And we are definitely looking for the zero trust architectures. So because once you share your data with the relevant person or the groups, so it's very dangerous. And at the end, this is research. You need to provide trust to your stakeholders and your collaborators.
You mentioned something which took my attention. You said protecting the data. All right. Here's my question to you then. In what ways can AI help protect genomic data rather than just endanger it?
Yeah, I see. So this is the conversations that we are always having. The first thing is definitely AI can help for monitoring my data analysis. So there are several monitoring options that I can embed to my existing pipelines, so I can see who changed the data, who added a new data, what's the data resource. So I can easily monitoring the databases for any anomalies, any changes. So this is very important. And another thing is sometimes we need to focus on the mismatches. This means we have a patient cohort. We need to add a new patient who should be on the group, let's say for the drug discovery studies or clinical trials. So these kind of new technologies, the AI technologies, can easily flagging, hey, you shouldn't add this data to your table. Or maybe specific patient groups has a different security rules or security standards. So I need to be sure that, yes, this patient go to this group based on the specific security rules or security directions. Therefore, flagging the specific behaviors that I defined earlier, the monitoring my data. And another thing is we can use AI for adjusting the policies because it's dynamic. So you cannot use the same policies from the first day of the project to the end. So I can easily use the AI agents and AI help for these kind of the changes. And one of the important part that I discussed yesterday with one of my colleagues is sometimes we are working with different institutions from different countries. Maybe we can talk more, but the different countries, different institutions, they have different security protocols. Therefore, we maybe provide some kind of a computation or analysis without raw data access. This is important because maybe some institutions don't want to share the data with others, or maybe don't want to, they don't have enough permission to share it. So AI can definitely help me to define the changes on my data, understand the changes on my data, and accelerate the data sharing and definitions.
You said AI can help. As you know, it was all over the news, and last week I wrote an article about it as well. A company was hacked through a social engineering attack, and the AI was influenced in a bad way. So you talking about that brings ethical considerations into my mind.
Yeah.
While ethical considerations shape the development of AI tools, what about genomic analysis? So who's going to take care of that?
Yeah, usually I'm directly working with the legal teams for these kind of changes. We have AI for the responsible AI groups that I can easily ask for the details. But in regular, the research world, so there are several protocols that we need to follow. The first one is the consent. So you cannot use the any data or patient's data on any AI model training in the AI models. So you need to have the consent of the patients, especially for the genomics data. And for the ethical perspective, there are several issues that, as a data scientist, I need to be, I need to work on. The bias on the data. The bias means you should define your model with the right set of data, with the right data formats. I'm responsible for, having these kind of checks. And on the other hand, the data ownership is important for the ethical perspective because, we probably, you are seeing more than me, the discussion about who is the owner of the data. In the genomics, it's clear, this is your data. And while I'm training my AI model or deep learning or machine learning model, I need to be careful about the bias on the data or the ownership of the data. And the important maybe example is, so if you have a bias on your data, you may have a wrong model, and you maybe you can use this model on predicting the drug dosage or predicting the cancer stages. So if your model or if your data has a problem on the ethical side, definitely you will have the wrong results and your accuracy will be definitely lower than the other models. And personally, as a data scientist, I usually use the responsible AI principles, and one of them is the transparency. So I need to share how I train my model, how I use the patient's data, and what's my parameters, and where is the computational environment, is that safe or not, so is it controlled? So these are the details that I'm always focusing on, and luckily we have a great specific directions and the documentations in the genomics world, but definitely we need to be careful, and we should have these kind of the ethical principles and provide the same opportunities for each researcher. Sorry, it was long.
No. I love it. Honestly, I couldn't even interfere. It's, even though I spend lots of time in this, of course, not as much as you. But you mentioned several important facts. You said, the ownership of the data. You said, like a patient, like someone like me, born in Germany, GDPR, lived in Australia, and is Australian citizenship.
Yeah.
Australian cybersecurity laws. Moved to Dubai, UAE laws because my data is there as well. Now I'm here in US, so I'm an international guy, and probably my data is resisting in multiple countries.
Yeah.
So when it comes to international collaboration, what role should this play in setting standards for AI-driven genomic security? Because I know GDPR is there to protect me, because I have still binds to Germany. I know Microsoft will take care of me or whatever, Google, whatever it is. But I think there should be a collaboration, and I'm really curious how this collaboration can help.
Yeah. So I personally spent probably the 30% of my time for managing these kind of, understanding the different countries' rules and different regulations, like you mentioned, several of them. This, as a data scientist, it's really important to combine the data, because the power of the genomics analysis and using the AI is, coming from the data. And each countries or each regions has a different security rules or protocols. So sometimes this is blocking most of the projects. Sometimes it's accelerating if we have the compatible version of the security guidelines. But this is important for me and my security teammates, because at the end, so there are several, while you are combining the different data sets from different countries, maybe we will see some security gaps between two different data source, but definitely this is some kind of a potential blocker. But if you are using the cloud, I'm not just talking about Microsoft. Probably all the cloud vendors are providing different the privacy tooling, different security, the features for starting from storing data to analyze your data with the AI. But my observation is the users and the researchers are looking for region-specific deployments, and they would like to localize their data in their country. And we should provide these kind of solutions. But in any scenario, we need to harmonize the data, and this data will be the key for the next treatment, maybe the new drug discovery. I can give a maybe short example. So
Please.
I just published. Yeah, please.
No, please give the example.
So 2 months ago, I just published a paper about the retrieval augmented generation and the fine tuning for genomics. Because the AI models, didn't deploy or maybe trained on the genomics data or the genomics annotation informations, the literature informations. So I published the data. So I published the paper with the public data set. It was easy, but once we would like to replicate or reproduce the same studies with the multiple, the data centers or maybe multiple hospitals, multiple research institutes. So definitely I need to add I need to work with my security teammate and create some kind of a guideline for replicating the similar data structure or reproducing the same results. So as a data scientist, I'm not just analyzing the data. I need to work with the security expert. I need to work with the legal teams. And I think as a team, that we created a great solutions for the researchers.
Honestly, this brought another question into my mind. Now, I know Microsoft is going to take care of that. I'm pretty sure Google will also do that. But what about some countries which doesn't have these ethical considerations? What kinds of dangers can this bring into our life? Let's say I travel, just an example, to a country which is not an alliance in this collaboration. I'm sick. I have to go to the hospital. So what, can I do something?
I don't have any experience, but at the end,
me too. It just came to my mind. Honestly, you explained.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, definitely. So maybe I can't give an example, but while you are registering for the treatment or maybe the hospital visits, so you should sign a consent. So I think you need to read your consent paper and the consent, the documentation, because you should see your rights. Sometimes maybe they have a right to share your data. Sometimes they have a right to store your data indefinitely. So depends on the countries and the documentation that you sign. But I don't have any specific example. But this is another problem for most of the patients. They have concerns about using their data sets or using their data for different purposes. I don't have any specific experience, but I think you point out a great problem for most of the countries, probably.
Then I think we should maybe join our forces and write a paper together about that.
Exactly. We should write a paper. You're a great security expert, so I think I can cover the genomics part and life sciences part. I think we need a really good guideline for the genomics and the bioinformatics researchers. So we have great people, we have great teams, but definitely we should create a guideline for.
We will create Erdal Square paper.
Erdal Square.
All right. Before I let you go, I mean, we can talk all day about it. Mm-hmm. As someone who is behind AI, what would you recommend to anybody who's listening to the show? Should we be scared of AI? No. Should we be fully relied on AI? Or Erdal Cosgun, I'm going to give you the stage.
My personal view, my personal opinion.
Of course, I'm asking a personal view. Everything's personal, not binds Microsoft or Global CISO Forum or any other company.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm asking Dr. Erdal Cosgun.
Yeah. I'm
hiding myself. The stage is yours.
Yeah, and I think the question that I'm always having, so we don't need to worry about AI. So I think we can contribute to the AI progress. This is important for everybody. As a data scientist, I always say to my colleagues, data scientist colleagues, so you are the domain expert. You should create a data that AI can use for training purposes or training. So I think we don't need to worry about it. I think we should contribute to the AI, but we should be careful and we should follow the responsible AI guidelines, and each company has these kind of guidelines. I think we should focus these details before worrying about the AI.
All right, let me admit myself in again. Erdal, again, honestly, I can speak with you all day. It's always a pleasure to have you here. And I think we should meet later again to discuss different aspects of AI. Would you like to share anything to the IT world just before we end the show?
No, thanks for having me. So I will follow your the talk show, and I'm really looking forward to see the next speakers. And I will be happy to answer any questions. And everyone can find me in LinkedIn. So please feel free to reach out to me if you have any experience with the genomics and the security, the guidelines. So I will be happy to learn more from you and happy to share my experience with you.
So Erdal Cosgun, if they search it at LinkedIn, it will come up anyway.
Exactly.
Also, hopefully we're gonna publish a paper. Look to our paper, and for anybody who came that far, I want to give away my latest book, which is all about incident response. I'm gonna put a QR code at the end. Just go scan it and download it. You can either go buy it from Amazon or whatever, or you can just download it from the link. It's up to you. Of course, the difference is ebook versus paper book. With this, we're coming to the end. Thank you very much, Erdal. It's always a pleasure to have you on my show, and I'm really looking forward for our collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, one more show is coming to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. Honestly, every time I speak to Erdal, not myself, to Dr. Cosgun, I learn a lot. I told you we met first at Microsoft, and I left Microsoft years ago, and we're still together because we have one thing in common, which is sharing our knowledge, because we believe we are better together. With that, I'm looking forward to see you in my next show with my new guest. Thank you very much.